Hi guys, Pete from Skarya here. In this video I want to show you how we've built our information security management system using our own platform. What's different here is that we use the same work OS we give to our customers to run and scale our own business. We don't stitch tools together. We operate one connected system. As we say, designed in Skarya, built in Skarya, and operated in Skarya. Look, most organisations are running point solutions, risk tools, CRMs, task systems and the like, but they don't really talk to each other. Work flows across teams, but the systems simply don't support this. So people end up doing the integration themselves manually. What we've done is take a different approach. Skarya works more like building blocks. The same components can be assembled in different ways and then configured in line with the problem you're solving. You might start simple and evolve into something much more structured and complex over time. And yes, some enterprise-grade tools can also do this. But here's the thing. They usually involve lengthy, costly projects to get them working for you, and every tiny change is expensive. Skarya is designed so simply you can be up and running very quickly, and then you adjust as you go. Okay, at a high level, everything starts with the business. There are always risks, and they could get in the way of what we're trying to achieve. Those risks don't exist in isolation. They're shaped by an environment that's constantly changing, so we put controls in place. The important part is how we manage what actually happens in reality. When something goes wrong, we capture it in our service incident board inside Skarya. And if an incident represents a risk, then we create a linked risk directly from it. So we're not just logging the incident, we're creating a traceable connection into the risk model. We do exactly the same thing with control assessments. If we identify a weakness as part of a review, well, we create a linked risk issue straight back into the same system. No rekeying, no swivel chair, just clean connected data. Everything then comes together in the risk register. This is where we manage risk end to end, but it's also where everything that supports the ISMS lives. Governance, policy, controls and the like, in one place, connected and traceable. So, this isn't just a register, it's the core of the ISMS system. Everything connects through it or is stored within it. When you step back, what we've built is a closed loop system. Everything works via the risk core. Controls mitigate risks. Incidents and assessments test reality. And the governance drives decisions and improvements. If we compare our approach to how this is usually done, well, it's a mix of spreadsheets, documents, disconnected tools. It's hard to get a clear picture. And teams spend more time stitching things together than actually managing risk. What we've built here is a real example of what we mean when we say Skarya is a work operating system. We're not just managing tasks, we're running an operating model inside the platform. And risk is just one use case. The same approach can be applied right across the business. So that's the model. Now let's see how this actually works in practice. Okay, let's get going. I'll just log into this demo instance of Skarya. And I've landed upon My Day. My Day is a team member's homepage showing them all the tasks assigned to them that they've created, etc. I'm not going to linger here because this demo is around the ISMS. I'm just going to go straight into the boards section. So now we're in the board section. We have some example boards here for various different functions. But the ones that relate to the ISMS are the control assessment board, the service incident, and the risk register. I'll just go into the service incident board. You can see some tickets that we've generated here going across the statuses, which represent the steps in the life cycle of service restoration. If I open this ticket up here, we can see we've got the category, the type, its name and description, what status it's currently in, what it relates to in terms of customer data systems, staff, etc. We can see who it's assigned to here. We can also then initiate a conversation with Kakali here to converse about the ticket. So that's basically an example of one of the tickets in the Service Incident Management Board. If we take this one that's come in via email here, a new one, users able to bypass multi-factor authentication on payroll. Okay, doesn't sound too good. Let's have a look at this. I may assign this to myself. I think we should give this a high priority. Clearly relates to our systems. And I'm going to move that into our investigation stage. Okay, so I might be working on this ticket here now. We can see the labels on it. And as part of my normal service restoration, it may occur to me that I also now need to raise a risk incident because clearly if multi-factor authentication is failing on the payroll system, this would seem to indicate a problem with one of our controls. So at any stage in the life cycle, I may then actually decide to link this into the risk register. I do that using our copy to board capability. So here I've just gone in, I can create the risk incident, is already selected. All of the information around the risk I could populate, although it's not mandatory. The status as it goes over will be identified, and I can quickly, as simple as that, create the ticket. So we've copied that over to the risk register. I can carry on working on the service restoration of the security incident here. But if I switch now into the risk register itself, I can see that we've got a new ticket that's been created that says the users are able to bypass the multi-factor authentication on payroll. I open that ticket, I can clearly see that it's directly related to the service incident ticket. All of this is in the audit. Now, as performing the risk manager role, I can actually start to do the risk management process here. The risk incident ticket is now passing through our risk governance process. As part of that, the various low-level details will be populated. We'll say this is medium likelihood, medium impact. We'll say that we're going to mitigate this risk and we're going to set aside an owner for the risk. So as this moves through the various stages, our investigations may lead us to believe that something more systemic is actually at play here, and that we need to look at the control, the multi-factor authentication control, and perform a reassessment as well as actually closing out the risk incident. To do this, we'll go to the copies to board capability. This time we'll select the control assessment board, and now we'll actually drop this in as a reassessment, making it a high priority. So it's a reassessment of the risk, and we'll assign that to the appropriate person. We've now created a new ticket, BT61. If we close that now and switch over to the control assessment board, now we're looking across the life cycle to reassessment, and we can see the ticket duly created with the link clearly back to the risk register to BT59 there. Now the reassessment can continue here in the control assessment board. In that way, we've got a clear linkage now right from the original incident through to the risk register and into the control reassessment that occurred. So I described the risk register as being the core, with all of the components being linked to it or contained within it. Just to show you briefly what I mean by this, if I'm in the risk register and I go to our docs, I can see all of the things we mentioned earlier, the control framework with individual definitions for each control, the policy, obviously we just got, this is demo data, so no content, the standard operating procedures, the risk and governance oversight processes, and the taxonomy, etc. Basically anything we need to actually manage the ISMS is contained here. As we said, not in different areas. If I go back into the board itself, looking at the tasks, I can also show you how we manage the monthly risk forum. And we do that simply by going to a different view of the Kanban, which is the table view. So here, instead of exporting all of our tasks out into a spreadsheet and sitting around and observing them, we can actually just go through and look at each section. We can edit in here if we need to. We can drill down into each individual ticket, look at the status, look what's going on, have the discussion, put the updates directly in here. We can move through, see the different tasks that are in, say, open. And basically this becomes the agenda. All in one place, we record this, and obviously we keep a copy, but essentially that's how we manage the risk meeting inside the platform itself. So that's it. Coming back here, that completes our overview of Skarya as an ISMS. Thank you.